Now I would like to welcome one of Israel's most powerful symbols of resilience, a leader already building Israel 3.0, not in theory, but in real time. Mr. Tamir Idan, head of the Sdot Negev Regional Council. אנחנו צריכים לזוז אחד נראה לי. Tamir has served as council head since 2012, leading a community hit by the October 7th attacks. On that morning, Tamir acted with calm, strategic clarity, activating emergency protocols, mobilizing resources, and standing with his people while under fire. His leadership post-October 7th has transformed pain into purpose through investments in education, infrastructure, and long-term programs. But Tamir's story is not just about leadership, it's about survival. On the morning of October 7th, reports spread across social media and news channels that Tamir Idan had been killed when a missile was fired at his car. His wife, many friends and local residents received the devastating message that both Tamir and his close friend Ophir Liebstein had been murdered. Tragically, Ophir, who displayed the highest courage, did fall. But Tamir survived. And today, as you can see, Tamir is here, carrying forward the legacy of his friend Ophir. I'm proud to have the privilege of interviewing you, my friend and partner.
Thank you, Mirav.
Can you share with us something that kind of resonates with you that you felt on that morning of October 7th?
You know, the first reaction was like shock, disbelief, huge fear. You have to understand, Mirav, that usually the army calling me and saying, be prepared, we are doing something, take your people, open the operation room and be prepared for war, for an operation. We hear the alarms in the morning and we wake up and nobody was in the phone. I tried to call the army, tried to call the police, all my friends, nobody answered the phone. So I said, what is going on here? But these feelings have no place in this time. And I was with 4 or 5 people in this room, in this shelter room, say, let's go out. People going to the synagogue now, it's a holiday. And we get out and get out of the synagogue. But people didn't believe us. We said, there are murders outside. There are terrorists that come in to kill you all, get off. And after that, you see the fear in their eyes. The fear. But they are heroes, because any one of them take his weapon and get out of the street with a simple weapon and just fight the terrorists inside the communities. Until now, it's a big shock for us. We didn't know what's happened, how such a thing can happen, but we know we are going through, we're going to the future.
I want to take the clicker so we can play a bit with the pictures. This picture here behind us. I've been there several times and it's kind of shocking to see it.
The picture that behind us, and I see it over here, it's about 1,640 pieces. Every one of them had a family inside, of someone that escaped from this terrible Nova party. And in the first day of the war, it asked me to put them outside my office. And night after night, the wonderful of the Zaka people came and took part of the bodies from the cars that came all night and recognized the kidnapped and the soldiers and the people from the Nova and our residents that fell in these days. It was a terrible time and terrible place, and now all these cars are like few meters from our council, but it's like a commemoration. And when we go together to Auschwitz, I told you that I see in the shoes and I see in the car, and I broke. Remember that?
Yeah. So obviously it was very shocking and things continued after that, but it's very hard, and we want to talk about hope. And you and I talk a lot about hope and moving forward, and I kind of want to ask you, Tamir, as a person, not now as a leader, obviously we'll talk about that after, but as a person, what keeps you going? What keeps you moving ahead?
I think the face of our children. If you are going to show the picture, it's a little tough for me every time I see it.
We're going to have to ask production to move the slides.
In October 22, my granddaughter burned.
Yeah.
You can see me holding her a few minutes after. And I'm not a man of Facebook.
She was born 10 days after October 7th.
10 days after the war. And I just hold this beautiful creature in my eyes, in my hands, and start printing in the Facebook. I never do that. And I say about something about we are 10 days moving bodies, all the blood, all this darkness, and I hold in life in my hand. I hold in light, I hold in hope, and I hold in the future of Israel, of my family. And it's make me very strong, but to say the truth, very afraid about the future. And a few minutes after that, a terrorist came inside in the response on the Facebook and said, come to your house and murder her. So my child, my oldest son, said, delete that immediately. So I do that. But when you see these children, when you see the new life coming on in Israel, in your family, you know that there is a hope. You know, it's a tough time for us. And people ask me, why you sacrificing your child? Why you put him in this dangerous place? My biggest son is with me here in the hotel waiting. And if you ask him if you want to move, he will tell you no, just no. And we are 4 generations in this place. We have deep roots, and we want to stay there, and we make the future of this child better, because this is our mission. Because if we are stopped, they're going to lose the future. So we have to continue and move on and rebuild and make these countries and these communities stronger than ever.
So if we're talking about looking into the future and the things that you are doing in order to convince your child and other children to stay in your region, so maybe you want to share with us a bit about the activities that you are now spearheading in your community.
We have to talk short.
We have to talk short.
Okay, I want to point about 2 things that we are doing now. We are establishing a new community. 500 new families going to come to our region, and they on the list. You have to believe me. They call me and say, write my name. I say, no list. Write my name on the list that's going to be. And you see over here the tank and the combine. Alive, near the war, side by side. This is our life. But we have to make them better. So we are going to establish the new community. We're going to bring new people to this area. And we're focusing about education, about giving the tools to our children to break the wheel ceiling that they have. Because, to telling the truth, in the periphery, there's a fear from high-tech, from cyber, from things like that. So we're going to establish a school, a high-tech school in our region, and it's going to be success, believe me. You know me, Mirav.
Yeah. So they said we have to finish. So do you want to say something to kind of conclude and close this session?
I want to say something. Hi. First of all, I want to thank my dear friend Chaim Tayeb, who is the president on this occasion. Chaim, you are a friend of Israel, of my region, in time of war and in time of peace. Thank you. I want to thank the great people at the Jerusalem Post about having this. But I want you to know, in the first day we were alone. Nobody answered the phone. But you all was over there. And thank you, each and every one of you, about the caring, about the hugging, about the phone, about just calling and say, what you need. I not needed anything. I needed a strong back of all the people of Israel all over the world. And if you're not sure, I make it sure, we are going to win that. We are going to win that. But first of all, bring all the hostages back home safe and alive, and then win the war. And you can trust my word. We're going to be here and be there, but we are over there. And we're going to succeed this mission, this historic mission, to the end. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you.